All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're back here at Gamer Tag Radio, and we have a special guest here, man. You know, I've been talking about WrestleQuest now for a while now, since last year. But we have a couple of guests here, and we're going to be talking about the game. You guys want to introduce yourself? Let's go with the legend himself. Jeff, let's go with you first.
Oh, Danny, you're supposed to say the man who needs no introduction.
That is true.
12-time world heavyweight champion, the two-time Hall of Famer, Double J himself. Howdy, folks. J-double-F, J-double-R-E-double-T. That's Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Executive wrestling producer of WrestleQuest. Now choke on that, Danny.
All right, there you go. And also, Zach, you would like to go next?
I'm Zach the Snack Manco, head of studio at MegaCat.
All right, and James?
James J A single M E S Deegan, founder of MegaCat, big fan of Jeff Jarrett.
Bingo.
Bingo. There you go. Now, I have to say, I've been playing this now for a while now. I really, really love this game. And Jeff, I don't know if you're a huge gamer or not, but this game reminds me of the old school Super Mario RPG where you collide like two different games together into one. So I'm a huge wrestling fan. So, you know, seeing this as an RPG, I was like, okay, this is going to be something different, and I think I'm going to get into it. And look at that. Been playing it for now for a couple hours, man. Love the game, man. So, but let's talk.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
Danny, let me just flip the script on you.
Sure.
You're here to interview us. Let's interview you.
Sure.
Give me three things that you like about it, because it sounds like you're a wrestling fan and a JRPG fan.
Well,
So give me three things you like about it.
Well, first, RPG. Love RPGs. Two, especially, you know, old school wrestling, 80s and 90s. I like that a lot. You know, I see a couple of my favorite wrestlers in there. You're included in there. So I was like, all right, this is awesome. And I just love the vibe is very different than any other wrestling game that I played. I think I love that. It's very, very unique. Those are the three reasons why.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, all right. But yeah, so how this concept came about? Let's go with James. How this came about with coming up with the concept and everything for this.
You know, we've been making games for a long time now. It's like 8 years at MegaCat alone. Some of our team members have been in the games longer than I've been alive, and there's just a profound love at our studio for RPGs and a reverence for what goes into making a good one. And we decided a few years ago to just jump off the cliff and make something we love and something we want to be known for. So it's been on the bucket list forever, like since early days starting MegaCat. And you know, we had such a love for that genre growing up in the 16-bit era with Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, Super Mario RPG is one of my all-time favorite games. And then we always wanted to make a wrestling game. And when we were looking at what we loved about wrestling and kind of looking at everything else that had been explored, we realized that there's a perfect intersection here with storytelling and characters and spectacle that wrestling could do and could have. And we wanted to nail a unique visual identity so it didn't get lost in the sauce of the million other wrestling pixel art games that came before us. And we came into this really personal space of nostalgia with the genre we grew up with like the style and art of pixel art that we were raised by that made us eventually join the games industry and create MegaCat, and then the action figure collectability of wrestling and these really wild characters. So that's kind of the summary of the origin of it. It took a lot longer for us to get started, just the size and the scale and the licenses and the timing is just there's so many things hurdles to hop, mountains to climb. So we've been climbing, dude.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, like, how was it? You know, for them, like pitching this to you for the first time, what was it that stood out to you about the game that you were like, yeah, I need to be part of this project?
You know, I've been doing a lot of press, and the game obviously comes out next Tuesday. So on the kind of the ramp up, this is probably my favorite question to answer. In that because it's so simple that me and James, our relationship originally started on a completely different project on kind of gamifying a wrestling live event. More to come. Just stay tuned there on that. But then, you know, flipping the script on the other side is, okay, how are we going to wrestlefy a game? And when they started kind of laying out not just the IP, which blew me away, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Road Warriors, Jake the Snake, Coco Beware, JYD, Rocky Soul Man, just on and on and on. That obviously from a a wrestling guy, that kind of jumped off the screen. But once I've kind of dove into the DNA of everything, the word that I've continued to use throughout, and I've also used this going back 15, 20, 30 years, the authenticity. That's really what wrestling's about. And everyone knows that we're not true sport, but we're that hybrid. Yes, we simulate a sport, but we're much more leaning in to the entertainment aspect. But when entertainment meets sport, it's that fancy term called sports entertainment. But what's really under that? It's storytelling. At the end of the day, it's good versus evil. You can call it protagonist, antagonist, good versus evil, baby faces versus heels, whatever you want to call it. The essence of storytelling is truly about life. But Zach, being the creative driving force, when you really get into the DNA of the game and really look at Macho, Muchacho Man, his ascension is what professional wrestling is about. So the authenticity and how true it is to professional wrestling is something that's really special, that's never, ever been done or really even had the opportunity to be in a game like this, because simulation games, goes down the sporting avenue. But at the end of the day, the thing that really joins us all together as a team that makes a very powerful team is that we're truly wrestling fans. And wrestling fans, you either get it or you don't. And so that's kind of the jumping off point. WrestleQuest gets it.
Yeah. And Zach, how was the process of getting other wrestlers to be also involved with this project too? How was that process for you guys?
So I'll actually tee up James for this, but I can say that it was a lot of highs and lows, right, sir?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. We want to make sure that we're both bringing wrestlers into the fold to use them as they are in WrestleQuest, where they can stand among one another. So in WrestleQuest, you don't play as like JYD or Andre the Giant or the Road Warriors. So there are cities built in their honor, and there's these massive Statue of Liberty style perspective statues you walk up to, and you might walk up to the statue and say, what do I do with my gimmick? Like, no one loves me. How do I find myself? And these giant statues are there to guide you, like through this WrestleQuest universe. So we had to make sure that the talent could stand among one another. They had to all be legends. They had to all be, independently owned costumes, identity, and current licensing limitations. So it's often the case in this era where they would have established common trademarks from the territory era, and they'd have different other deals that are out there in the wild that needed wrangled and discussed and sorted out, and none of it's transparent and accessible. And then in general, beyond those two kind of thread the needle crosshairs, is also just, we want to make sure they're going to make the game great. It had to be people that we could bring into the fold that have characteristics and gimmicks that would pop on screen in an RPG. So it definitely took some time, and I'm probably 20 years older now because of it, but I'm very happy with what we got done.
Yeah. And Zach, what you can tell us a little bit about the story, the main character in this game.
Yeah, so Muchacho Man is inspired by his hero, Randy Savage, to enter the world of wrestling. He starts out, 4 inches from his CRT, just glued to the action as a young boy. Then he goes out and does some backyard wrestling. And it's really about sort of, again, being this love letter to wrestling. He's kind of like in our position, because a lot of us were the same way, playing with the wrestling action figures, staying up late to watch the pay-per-views. And so he lives and breathes wrestling. And as an adult, he exists in this constant kayfabe, where for him wrestling is still all real, bigger than life. And his story is really about, can he maintain that sort of like innocent, pure relationship with it as he becomes a wrestler and moves up the ranks? Can he maintain that kind of like innocence without losing his soul, more or less? And the villains he comes up against are, they're just interested in control. Essentially, it's about controlling every promotion, every ring, every script across the wrestling world. So those forces come to a head, but those are only a few of the characters. There's a large cast. Getting back to the RPG nature of it, there's 12 playable characters. They each have their sort of time in the spotlight.
And Jeff, what you can tell us about your character in the game?
It's the double J version, if you will.
Yeah.
Zach just, I mean, he that I'll call it a marketing line, if you will, but a love letter to professional wrestling. I do a podcast every week, and Conrad Thompson is sometimes it's maybe not a love letter, but it is all about 80s and 90s wrestling. So when you kind of look at the characters, and that's me, Zach. Again, the real driving force creatively. Just again, these iconic figures from the professional wrestling world are cities are built around them, and persona and the character, and that's kind of one of those things that you. As you roll along in the game, it's so relatable, engaging, and again, there's so many Easter eggs. A lot of fun. I'll just say that, a lot of fun.
Yeah, did you recorded some voice stuff for this too, or no? Because I know there's characters there. You hear like their voices in there too in the game. I know you have your guitar in there too. So how was that?
I got to give my man Mr. Hickey. He would be, how mad if I just said no. He's the voice Rio man in the game. How many voices does he do?
He does a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a guy. I asked him one time, but anyway,
Yeah.
Patrick Hickey Jr. is our voice guy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you guys. I'm like, oh man, this is legit. This is legit. Yeah, really man. Good. Yeah, I'm very curious to see, like, once this goes out to the masses. I know you guys been promoting this to different conventions, and I think recently was Comic-Con. How was the reaction seeing people playing it for the first time, and meeting the wrestlers there in person too? How was that process for you guys too, man?
So it's always great to take our games live and see people what they come away with. Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped on you. It goes the booth is PAX East, PAX West, San Diego Comic-Con, but the PAX booths have been the best. I'll let you elaborate. My man Zach can wear a few different outfits, but I'm telling you, seeing folks come up and actually play the game, that is about as great of focus group feedback. It's off the charts fun.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny, Jeff, because this is like your first time actually going to like a lot of gaming events to promote this, right? So like I'd love to see you more in the future in more projects in gaming too, man. Because it looks like you guys been having a great time doing this, man, together.
You'll see me. I can remember when James said, "Hey, do you have this weekend available in PAX East?" Anyway, so kind of getting into that whole DNA. And look, goes without saying, back in the 90s in a WCW game, and then the WWF, and then at TNA with the Midway game, and just kind of my progression in video games. At this stage of my career, it is, man, I'm as excited as about WrestleQuest as about anything I have going on in my business world. So it's really, really cool.
No, that's really cool to see, man. And James, let me ask you, like, why was it so important to have, the legends, old school wrestlers from like 80s and 90s? Is it because the way how the style is 16-bit era, or was it a combination of both, or like, just because you're just a fan of the 80s and 90s wrestlers, or what?
Yeah, just trying to immerse like the nostalgia, like that sense of when we were introduced to RPGs and wrestling the first time. So that's what we wanted to capture with WrestleQuest, and I just feel like the part of that authenticity is having some of the folks we have in the game.
Yeah. And for you, Zach?
It does get back to the idea of it being a love letter. We made this game because we're fans of wrestling and we're fans of RPGs, and the way we have these legendary wrestlers is unlike other games. We literally put them on a pedestal. They appear as these larger than life Statue of Liberty style statues where, people come from all over to seek advice and pay homage and things like that. And again, it's about giving them the respect that they deserve, and I guess showcasing, presenting that legacy to, hopefully a whole new generation of fans.
Yeah, cool. And Jeff, do you play games at all? You casually or anything like that?
I mean, look, I've got 5 kids, so
you already know what's up.
I do, but I don't. But
yeah.
I got a lot of. I'll just say my calendar stays full, but you wouldn't call me a hardcore gamer at all. But me and James got a partnership, Moonsault Digital, so you never know. You might see Double J on his own Twitch channel before long.
Yeah. And quick question: the guitar. the sound effect is legit. It's exactly how it is in real life, or what in the game.
Let's go back to that word, authentic.
Yes, official.
Have you seen the spot where I cracked the office worker?
I seen that video.
Well, you're looking at the star of it, and it's not me.
I can attest to the authenticity of the guitar shot sound effect.
Bingo!
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. Awesome, man. And so what's next for you guys now? Okay, the game is already out. You know, in a few days, man. What's next for you guys? You just gonna relax, take a break, or gonna work on other projects or what?
Well, we have some incredible DLC underway that I can't wait to announce,
Ooh.
and I honestly think it doubles the appeal of WrestleQuest for fans. It's super exciting, so I can't wait for that. And then I'm probably going to take like a 6 to 8 month vacation.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, yeah.
Next Tuesday, August 8th, right? That's when you think WrestleQuest is coming out. That's the launch of the Quest franchise. Get ready.
Yeah, nice. And I don't know if you are allowed to say it, but are we gonna see new wrestlers maybe or not? Or more info coming soon?
I'll defer.
I can't spoil it, Danny, but you can
Okay.
better believe as long as we're around, there's going to be more wrestlers.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Awesome to hear, man. No, but it's been an honor talking to you guys, man. Jeff, huge fan, from way back, and I can't wait to see what's next for you, especially in gaming. Especially in gaming.
Where'd you grow up? Where are you from?
I'm from New York City.
I love it.
New York City. But I also lived in Miami, Florida. So I will go to like wrestling matches over there.
You ever been to a wrestling show at the Garden?
Oh, not in the Garden. But I've been in Miami. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
In Miami
Gotcha.
multiple times. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, congrats, and can't wait to see the reaction from everybody else, man. 'Cause this is a great game, and I highly recommend everybody check it out.
Love it. Appreciate your time today, man.
No
Appreciate
problem,
you.
man. Thank you.
Thank you.